Welcome to this special Adobe Magento Hyva edition of Talk Commerce. Today I have Namrata Sangani. Namrata is the QA champion for Hyva and an Adobe champion. Namrata, do a much better introduction for yourself. Tell us your day-to-day role and give us one of your passions in life.
Surely. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me, Brent. So it's lovely meeting with you. And my name is Namrata Sangani, and I'm into e-commerce business since last 12 years, totally into Magento side. And since last 1 year, I have been more available on front end. You may have seen more on LinkedIn, on social platform, talking about my passion, my work. And yeah, and after that, I have got selected as an Adobe E-Commerce Champion last year, which is launched last year only for Adobe Commerce program. And one of my biggest achievement was to join Hyva as an QA champion. And if I'll talk about my family, I'm from India and I am into a joint family with my in-laws, my beautiful daughter, and my caring husband. On addition to that, I am more focused on creating leadership, building my own leadership this year. So yeah, that's it for me.
That's great. Yeah. And you have a 2.5-year-old, I think you said, that must just keep your hands full. And you are staying up very late. I appreciate your time that you're taking this evening to just talk about it. So, but Namrata, before we go into content, we're going to talk about Hyva, we're going to talk about Adobe Commerce, we're going to talk about some visibility and what you're doing on LinkedIn just to get where you got at. But before that, I'm going to tell you a joke. And all you have to do is give me a rating 8 through 13. So here we go.
8 to 13.
8 through 13, yes.
Okay.
All right, here we go. The invention of the shovel was a groundbreaking discovery, but the invention of the broom was the one that truly swept the nation.
Sorry, but I didn't got your joke. So I will
That's
give
all right.
it.
No, it's all right.
I'll give it 9.
Right, so let's dive right into kind of your role that you've taken on with as an Adobe champion and now with Hyva as a champion. Tell us a little bit about that journey you've taken.
Okay. So first of all, for both of this, I had not planned at all. It happened like this. There was some form being published on LinkedIn that there is some Adobe Commerce Champion is happening, and I was not aware that this is the first time. So I just submitted, and for the entire year, I was very active on LinkedIn, posting on what I like, what I dislike, what is based in e-commerce, then Adobe Commerce tips and tricks. So with that, plus my certifications in hand, I got to know that I got selected as in 29 people around the globe. I was one of them, and I was touchwood very, very happy for that, because being recognized as Adobe champion itself is a huge badge. So yeah, that was that. And regarding Hyva, so yes, I had not planned at all, because I was somewhere aware that they are not allowing anyone. I mean, they are not allowing anyone join by themselves. Hyva is a picked up company, so they are picking the talents which they find very best to their team, and they are gaining them in. So that way only I was being picked up, and it went very good. And the Adobe Commerce Champion role title also played a big role in my this journey of joining Hyva. So yeah, that's how it went. Both of were unplanned and both of were very pleasant.
Yeah. So, I mean, you did mention unplanned, but you did make an effort to be more visible on LinkedIn, which has most likely
Definitely.
helped you for both your Adobe Commerce and then with Hyva. Tell us about some of the reasoning behind wanting to be more visible on LinkedIn and some of the things you're doing that are helping you in that journey.
So, first of all, in last 11 years, I had much knowledge. I had worked on product development company as well, but no one out of Surat was knowing me. I was not sharing anyone what I know, where I hold expertise. So I was not sharing. This journey I think started from Meet Magento India 2025. At the time, I had posted few of the networking photos on LinkedIn, and that gave a very good impression and engagement. After that, it kicked something in me that I started writing very usually. I had many e-commerce tricks and tips because I was leading a team of many people and I love front end tricks and tips. So I started sharing and people started engaging with it. They find it very useful. So with that, I also started sharing about my life, my family over there, which I felt people liked and enjoyed because they are seeing a work life balance which I am currently having, sharing professional as well as personal. So yeah, that's where I had built my passion of being visible on LinkedIn. I remember my major time from Instagram went to LinkedIn now. So whenever in midnight also if I woke up, I will check what is there. You might have seen me commenting on your post and article in midnight of IST. Because yeah, it's interesting for me.
Oh, the conscious decision to move into to be more engaging on LinkedIn. And as a follow-up to that, I will say that there's many people that are on LinkedIn and they always well, number one, they don't really engage, but they're sending you a direct message saying, I'd like to sell you this product. We can do this for you. And a lot of times what I've discovered is most of those people aren't really knowing what I do. And so I feel like what you're doing is learning more about what somebody else does and then engaging with that content, right? Is that kind of a good idea, a good way of looking at it?
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, initial days, I was also kind of those persons. I was sending requests and I was starting. I also had started pitching them, but it went very wrong way. People don't like engaging. I mean, people don't like to talk with you directly on the part. For example, if I'll go for some job or some projects, so if I'll approach them directly with this intention, they will not like me. I also have done mistake, and with mistakes only I got to know that first I will have to build the engagement. First they should know me as in person. After that this thing should come. So yeah, this happens day by day. As I told you, I have started LinkedIn from this last year only. So initially I did mistake, then I corrected it, and then day by day I got to understand, yes, what works, what don't works. I remember you also had sent me a message that if you are going to get connected with my content, if you find it useful, then only I will accept your request. At the time, I had felt it rude, but now I understand that why it is very important, because nowadays I also receive such type of messages. So yeah.
Yes. I mean, that's such a good point because I do get, like every day I might get 10 or 15 requests to be connected. And I find that the most frustrating part is after you've accepted that connection, then they come back with a very long post that's clearly either copy and pasted or automated.
AI.
That's, it's like this long. And it's just a pitch, and like they can pitch me by other means than just being connected. So yeah,
Very true.
so from the Adobe Commerce side, you have some history with Magento. You made an intention then as well to become an Adobe champion. You applied to be Adobe champion, but before you even did that, you were already well into Magento and into Adobe. Tell us a little bit about that journey, about learning Magento and learning Adobe Commerce and starting that path.
So from my initial journey itself, I was in Adobe Commerce, not in Adobe Commerce, Magento open source. So I was into development as well as leading. So my major role was on checking the people's PR and getting them converted to the base Magento practices and standards so that it is upgrade proof and future ready. So, in my last 6 years journey, in which I was there in one of the product development company, and in which we had developed a jewelry e-commerce solution for the on top of Magento open source. So my major role over there was also to make that product upgrade free with base Magento practices, future ready, performant. So that's where my passion of this perfect Magento, or say Magento with best practices, came in. Uh, and from there it came in, and that's where I started writing, and I
That's
felt
great.
that's where it reached.
Yeah. So just for those people who are listening that don't know what Hoofa is on Magento, tell us how revolutionary Hoofa is and how it really has changed the way Magento stores work.
So Luva is definitely very much revolutionary, and since last 5 year, its graph is like this. It's totally up and up, and I have seen the performance. The main part of UI is performance and ease of the development. It reduces your development graph as well as it is very high on performance. Within few seconds, also I have seen people's getting result. So it's very interesting, and the Hua's approach of making Hua theme open source is a very true gift or Santa gift, I can say, for the developers, because this will allow developers to learn Hua as well. Till now, there was a major blockage in front of developer until and unless their agency will adopt the Hua's license, they cannot do that. So yeah, that's where Hua have helped the developers as well in learning. And currently, if I'm not wrong, there are 6,500 sites running on Hua, as far as I know. And Hua is compatible with Adobe E-Commerce, Adobe Open Source, with Adobe's additional products like Adobe App Builder, cloud services.
And so your role right now is QA, but I've seen like some of your posts. You posted CMS and Tailwind. You obviously are very technical as well. Tell us some of the reasoning behind what you're doing on LinkedIn and how that's helping Hoofa. And is it helping Hoofa in India, or is India mainly a production center for Hoofa?
So yes, on your question of India's. So if I'll tell you the stats, after we make the Hua open source, there were 30% downloads from India around the globe. So India is a huge part in which more and more developers were there who will get beneficiate from Hua.
Just the ability then for developers to use Hoofa, and are there a lot of stores in India that are using Hoofa now?
Yes, there are many stores using Hua in India, but in Netherlands there were much more compared to Hua. Yeah, and I don't know the states currently in India how many stores were there. I'm quite new still, but yeah, there is a very huge adoption. Recently, also in nowadays, we are getting many and many inquiries of Hua. Specifically for Hua, commerce is also getting a very good shape nowadays. People are liking it, and people are getting it in their websites.
I I know that your role is QA, so do you find, I mean, you don't have to disclose a lot, but is it the quality of Hoofa I've always heard is high. So do you have any work to do by the time it gets to you?
Okay. So yeah, I can definitely say there is a very high quality for a single change. They are thinking a lot. There is much thoughts behind, and there is a huge minds in there like Vinay, Wingman, John Hugetts. So yeah, that is definitely a top level quality, a top level product quality approach they are going for. And in my learning, if I will say I have started learning Hua theme and Hua CMS recently so that I can better answer and address the queries of people over the GitLab issues as well as on Slack support. So yeah, this is something additional which I also wanted, because me being a person, I want that I know major things or say everything in which I am supporting people. So yeah.
So they are expanding, and you mentioned that also like 6,500 sites now running. Where do you see now the role of Hoofa in the Magento ecosystem and spreading across the globe?
So yes, definitely there is a huge role of Hua, and we have many plans for this year, which we will announce very soon. So we are very excited for that, and there is very huge role and huge uplifting for Magento community, for Magento developers as well as Magento vendors. With the help of Hua, I we had seen many people have been moving to Shopify in last year, and there was much debate on this is good or that is good. But I have also witnessed a few projects or few clients who have been convinced to stay on Magento, and they were being promised that they will get a very good result with Jua, and they are glad that they were convinced and they have got very amazing result.
You mentioned earlier that that you kind of started out with Meet Magento 2025, and you'll be at Meet Magento 2026.
I am starting an initiative of women in e-commerce with the help of Hyva. So I will be leading that initiative.
And what positive things or what can you say that you liked about last year's event?
The Meet Magento India event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I like the presentations. I like the networking as well because yeah, I had very good discussion with amongst these people and that Vatsal Shah and Pradeep Shah. So for very first time, I started talking to them for the long time and with a good intention as well as good content. So yeah, that's what I loved about that. And on top of that, the food was amazing. The people were also nice. I had met many old friends also over there. So it's very lovely gathering. And in India, this is one of the, or I can say the only event happening that is in Magento's world. There was many small meetups happening, but this is one of the major which I want no one should miss. Trust me, no one should miss.
And this is the first time that you've been to a Meet Magento in Ahmedabad. Are you looking forward to visiting? You're not in Ahmedabad, right?
No,
Where are
I'm
you
near
living?
to Ahmedabad. I am from Gujarat.
Okay. Oh, you are. Okay. So you're used to sugar and everything. Perfect. I'm making a
Okay,
joke about
and
Gujarati food.
it's very tasty.
Yes. So, what can you tell people that they should see when they're in Ahmedabad? And when I've been to 5 Meet Magentos and I think the surprising thing that people always say is Ahmedabad's so green. So, what can you tell us that outside of just going to the Meet Magento, what should people do that are visiting?
So there are many places in Ahmedabad which they should visit, and on in addition to that, there is very tasty food in Ahmedabad. So they should go for it. They should spend 2 days at least over there. Have the event as well as there is some workshop. Do attend them as well, and yeah, have some good food over there.
That's awesome. Namrata, what is your outlook now for this year? What do you think is going to happen with Magento and especially Adobe? And have you tried the Adobe SaaS product?
Exploring the Adobe App Builder recently. And the view to Hyva's adoption, I am seeing that Adobe is going to have a great future because it is anyway compatible with Hyva. So people are going to adopt it anyway. And what I'm seeing is Adobe's main intention, or say the focus, is not on Adobe Commerce fully. They are more into making the other supportive products like Adobe App Builder, Adobe Cloud Services, etc. So that's where I am seeing a little bit shift change. But in addition, in opposite to that, I am seeing people are supporting and contributing a lot to Magento open source. So yeah, that is also, and I can say a good morning for Magento community because people have started taking a self initiative of supporting this Magento open source, and that is beneficial for us only, for them only.
That's great.
So this year is going to be very good comparing to last 3 to 4 years in which many people have lost their job. Very expert, they have so many certifications, but still are finding the job in community. But with this shift change which Hyva have bring, so I feel with the little learning of Hyva in addition to that current state, which will be very beneficial for them to gain new jobs as well.
Yeah, that's good. So it's open. Going open source has opened lots of doors for people to be able to work with it, experiment with it, and learn it. Especially that it sounded like the learning part was the hardest, right?
What I have felt the learning path of Yuva is very easy. If you are passionate about Magento, if you have questions in mind, like I had, that what Yuva have did that made it very successful product, what it have done so that the performance is also top notch, the development graph is also top notch. Those were the curious questions on my mind, which triggered me to look after Yuva much. So the associated development developer exam of Yuva, which I did before Diwali last year, that is before November end last year, I had succeeded that exam without going through the code base. At that time, the Yuva theme was not open source. So without checking code base, I was able to crack that exam because the fundamentals were there. Only needed to sharpen my knowledge, or say understand the concept of UI in terms of Tailwind, in terms of Alpine. I can say only two things were there. Apart from that, everything is there. So for Magento front-end developer, this is a very based approach if they will just sharpen out their knowledge, their expertise in context of front end stack with Alpine and Tailwind, and they will be offered a very good positions.
Yeah. And I guess let's just end things on your Adobe Commerce. So you have tell me the certification you recently or you got for Adobe Commerce.
No, I am planning. I have one free certification voucher under this championship program. So I am planning to crack one. I have not
Okay.
planned,
So you
but
haven't
no,
done it yet.
but
Soon.
I will do it soon. But
Okay,
on
great.
their supporting products only. I am planning to do it on their supporting products.
Okay, great. Namrata, we have a few minutes left. And as we close out, I give everybody a chance to do a shameless plug about anything they'd like. And that just means you can promote or anything you want to anything. What would you like to promote today?
Okay, so I would like to promote the initiative I am starting at Meet Magento India. I would like to invite and encourage as many women as there to go and attend the Meet Magento India event. Trust me, it helps. It helps. Do your best. Do share your content. Do networking. Do get more and more visible. I am seeing in India there is very less women's attending the event compared to men's. So I want those women's to uplift themselves. Do show where you hold expertise, and yeah, it will be beneficial to your career only.
That's
And we
perfect.
in India, I have seen in India compared to other countries, women used to have a more work. They are managing their home, the household as well, the parenting, and with that, if you are doing your professional life this based way, then best you just networking. Do let others know that how you are managing everything. It will empower other women as well.
Perfect. And tell people how can they get a hold of you? Where can they find you?
They can find me the whole day on LinkedIn, not
Okay.
while I am sleeping.
Right, not while you're
And
sleeping.
I am
And
active on like Instagram as well, Instagram and Twitter as well.
okay, and don't send you a direct message just to try to pitch to you. Make sure it's
Very.
engagement.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm not the
Um,
person who will give you the opportunities. I'm not the person who will give you the projects at this moment. So I also want the way Brent want to get connected with my content, to let me know who you are first. Then might it be a point that we can talk on some other stuff.
that's great. Namrata Sangani, it's been such a great conversation. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much. It's lovely meeting you, Brent. I just want to add one quick note. If you remember, we had met for the first time in Meet Magento Ahmedabad 5 to 6 years back, when we were outside of the building where the event was there, and I had cracked 2 certifications over that on that day.
Oh, so
And
you took the yeah.
you and Vijay were there standing, and I was very glad to see you that, okay, you are alone. It's time to have perfect click with you. Then I had a selfie with you. So yeah, I
Okay,
was a
that's
fan of
great.
yours since that brand.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I won't make it this year, but maybe in 2027 I'll make it to meet Magento India.
Surely. We are
Yeah.
glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you again so much for being here.
Welcome.
It's your thing.